Hey everybody, welcome back to Everything's a Project, and of course it is. This is going to end up being F up, fix up number 2. So this part came out really well. I used the rotary, or not the rotary, but I used the swivel to do the corners. So anyways, these two holes are for metric pins, and I had a reamer on hand that was 315 thou, nearly 316, and that is the finished dimension that would have been ideal, but it's getting anodized, so it needs an extra 1,000th of clearance to make up for the thickness of the coating. So from McMaster Car, I bought an American-made 316.5 thou reamer, which would have been perfect. So, being that it's in the metric family, the shaft diameter is not a traditional R8 collet size, so I had to go to drill chuck. Well, they're called chucking reamers. So, I put it in there. I noticed there was some run out. A lot of times they'll follow the hole well. Well, it didn't. It blew the hole out. So I needed it to pass my 317 undersized pin, which is like 316 and 8/10, which is right there. This is the good hole. So this is at 319. And 320 almost would go in there. So this is no good. Okay, so you might notice on this side I can't put either pin in. Now I don't know if the customer will want this. I'm probably going to go ahead and make another one. Doing it completely manual is tedious. Everything's within a thou on this part. Length, width, thickness, positions, and the good hole. So, similar to what we did on that that transfer case housing with the large overbore, I was able to go inside that bore and add a series of pecks, so it would create a bunch of lows and highs to essentially a knurling, manual knurling. So, what you can do, I think this looks good, that's a ball. And what you do is you put it over your hole and you hit it with a hammer, and that displaces enough material to give you some more material to work with. And I'm not sure if you'll pick that up, but it also, the impression that it leaves is generally an acceptable chamfer. So you can be stealthy with this. So like I said, so right now the hole's blown out on the back side, but there's enough material displaced where I can recut that. Now it's only at the top, and then I'm going to do it at the bottom side of the part, but the middle section is still going to be a bad number. So if you have anything that's bearing of any type, then it's not a good solution. If you just need to hold a pin in place or something like that, it's a good solution. So I'll show that real quick. So all you do is just, the ball will pretty much center itself, and then give it a couple whacks. Yeah, so now there's enough material displaced. It's all uniform looking, and now I could go back in there and clean it up. So I've only run into reamers that run out once in a while, and it didn't end up ruining a part usually. So I asked on the internet, you know, how to do it. There's a million answers. Half the people went off on stupid tangents. Oh, it's probably all your setup. Your hole was off. No, it's not that. The hole was good. It was at the 3157, which matched the reamer I had on hand. The new reamer ran out. As a matter of fact, for the sister part to this, I got the reamer, and that reamer runs out like crazy. And so I went through all my chucks, all my collets. I put it on the lathe. It's got like stress in it. I put it in the lathe, chucked it up in a 5C collet backwards, and cut here so it would go in a 1/4 inch collet. Take it out, still runs out like crazy. It's in the material itself. What was I just looking for? So anyways, so I was wondering if holding it better with like an ER32 collet system would be a solution. And then there started to be some comments where they've seen people use rubber collets and stuff like this. And what somebody mentioned was that, and I kind of dabbled with this, this stuff drives you crazy. You know, it's 7 o'clock at night. I've already worked a full day at the day job. And, you know, I got a whole bunch of chucks from that shop I bought out. I went through all of them. I got some chucks that I could get to run within 1 thou, and that's putting a gauge pin in here. And then some are like 5 thou out. Well, I found out that tolerance on even good chucks like Jacobs are like 6 thou run out. So anyways, what somebody mentioned was that, I'm going to put this under there just in case it falls out. When you use a reamer like this, put it in. I always twirl. Everything I put in a chuck I twirl. And he says, that's it. I didn't tighten the chuck at all. And then there's enough, seems to be enough engagement on it. So I did this second hole with that method, and it is dead on. It shows a little bit of run out, but all the reamers have a little bit of taper to them. And you could add more taper if you needed. You can make a pilot also. Wouldn't work in this case because there's not enough difference between the diameter of this and the starting hole size, because I'm only taking another thou. And this hole is right. So this trued, with it loose in the drill chuck, it trued up. And the result was a good hole. So what I'll be doing is I'll put this back in, indicate it all back in again, and then I'll ream it with it loose in the chuck, the hole that I'm trying to correct. And that could be a backup, or truthfully, I need to properly. I need to make a new one. This is pro money for this. It's got to be a pro part. Almost anything else, it would be fine. And I hinted to the customer that, you know, I blew out that hole and I'm a couple thou over. He didn't, you know, and I told him I'll make a new one in the very near future. He didn't come back and say that'll be okay, so I'm not going to push it. He's already had me quote some other work, again at pro money, pro product. Anyways, okay, so that's the moral of the story. Try to remember that. I'll try to remember it too. That just leaving it loose in there. Oh, so having it loose, I wondered, well, will it drive it right? It drove into the hole fine. You do have to watch out that it might want to fall out. You know, and I used the boring, the downfeed of the mill, and but yeah, that second hole went perfect. How it should have gone the whole time. So haste makes waste, learning opportunity, everything's a project, and that's the fix up for the F up. Thanks a lot.